What a beautiful evening to be showing homes right here in Brentwood, Tennessee. My name is Sean Larson, real estate broker here in Middle Tennessee and the 30A Florida market, and I am out here at Primm Farm. And Primm Farm is one of Brentwood's newest luxury communities, and the homes out here are absolutely stunning. The one behind me, over 7,600 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 5 full baths, 2 half baths, and wait until you see the finishes. Wait until you see the outdoor living. It is amazing. Primm Farm is located right on Moores Lane. It's about a mile or so for everything in Cool Springs. Easy 65 connection. It is perfectly located. Now, it takes a little while to go through 7,600 square feet, so let's get rolling. Now, as we start looking at this exterior, we have a little bit of construction equipment on site because this is a new community and luxury homes are coming out of the ground. So if you hear that, please just disregard it. It's an exciting time out here in Primm Farm. So let's start looking at this exterior a little bit. One of the things I absolutely love about this is the selection of exterior materials and how they combined all those. Look at that. We're going to come in and get a close-up on that, but just from this view, you've got the stucco, you've got the stone, you've got the wood siding, large glass in those mirrors. That is absolutely beautiful. And picking those exterior finishes that all complement each other is definitely a talent. Because just like we talk about on the interiors, you want a nice cohesive look. So it's just not selecting a lot of things that you like, it's about filling that vision so it all comes together. And they did that perfectly here. Nice warm stone. Love the round downspouts. And look at the large glass. Large glass is in right now, and it makes for such a good presentation, keeps the home bright inside. Look at that entryway. Beautiful. Have your natural wood tones. Gas light up top. Look at that, triple flames in one light. That is a unique fixture right there. You have the rain chains, and for those of you who have never seen those are kind of popular on the coast as well. You see those a lot down in the 30A market. And what it is it's a form of downspout. See how it goes into the drain pipe there? And so each little bucket, let me give you a shot of that. Each little bucket has a hole in the bottom. And so as the rain comes along and flows in the gutter, just like a traditional downspout, instead of going down the tube, it goes down this series of buckets. They are so cool. Sometimes you actually see them where they don't have little buckets. They actually are just a chain, and the rain kind of clings to it. Really, really cool accent. Love the stone stairway, sidewalk, and then it goes down and meets the concrete driveway. Excellent blend. A lot of times while I'm filming these exteriors, you just want to capture it all. Just the way the light, comes across every surface. Like here, you got your second level, you have your chimney. Look at that sunburst right behind the chimney. Coming down, you have the really warm wood siding. Blends down into your warm stone. Really nice water table ledge there. And then the wood just wraps around the side of the home. Really, really nice. So we're walking around the side of the home here. Nice warm wood wraps around. And we talk a lot about exterior design and how everything can't be just a box. Well, look at this. See this inset they've created here? And it just keeps everything from looking so flat. You've got 2 exterior doors here. Look at that, surrounded with wood. Stone continues here for the steps. And it's really nice design element for the exterior. Rather than just having this wall just be flat there. Really, really good design right there. Have your water table ledge continuing. They even continued the wood right along the garage doors. Beautiful. And yeah, it's new construction around, so you'll catch a little bit of sound in the background. But that's exciting times because when you hear that, that means luxury homes are coming out of the ground. There's stuff happening in the community, and it's a short-term thing. But luxury homes just don't pop out of the ground. It takes some production and construction, and with that comes some sound. Beautiful light right there on that gable. Love that. A lot of times, people don't appreciate the homes from the outside. I absolutely love looking at the exteriors. We talk about these large panels, these large glass panels in these windows, and they look large from the outside, but wait until you see them from the inside. You'll really see the scale of them once you see that they go virtually floor to ceiling. Out here you have a large wall, so they seem large, but wait until you see them inside. And that is just what makes the home seem so spacious, light and bright. And so when you have a panel that you can see through, it's kind of like a mirror at a gym. It just makes the room look bigger because it shows, the reflection of the room. Well, the windows kind of give you the same thing. It makes it look like the room keeps going outside. Love that triple flame lantern at the top. Okay, let's go inside. Let's go through this naturally toned front door here, and let's start looking at some of these stunning interior finishes. So I've just stepped inside the front door, and look how incredible this foyer is. Natural finish, you have the door, the floors, the base cabinets and countertop. That is amazing. Look up top, remember that triple flame lantern above the front porch? Look at that. Another one right here in the foyer. Have your beautiful recessed lighting, really spotlights the area. You can imagine that in the evenings. It's kind of dim in here. See the flames and the recessed lighting. Absolutely stunning. You're gonna see some unique features right off the bat. When you look at a foyer, how many times do you see base cabinets right there in the foyer? And look at that really nice warm countertop. We talk a lot about glass panes, interior. Look at that, right there. You have virtually a window in the home, in the foyer. Look at that, you can see straight through to the kitchen. You have your bar area here. And see, if that would have just been a closed off wall, everything just feels like you are walking down a tunnel, but they opened it up with that glass. Very, very good choice. Look at that, just in proximity to the front door. So no sooner do you step in, you're immediately connected with the home. So as we wrap around from the foyer, right into the bar area, have your waterfall countertop. Look at that texture. Perfect color too. Really nice and warm and natural. Spacious bar. Look how wide those shelves are. Beautiful globe lighting. I like how much base cabinet there is. Look at that. That wraps all the way around. Very nice. Square sink. Wall-mounted plumbing fixture. Kind of adds a little style to the bar too. Not that it needed it. But look at that. That's a unique fixture right there. And see how wide those shelves are. You have your under-shelf lighting. You could use that for decor like it is now. Use it to display your favorite bottles. Very nice. Directly adjacent to the bar, you have your conditioned wine room. Plenty of bottle storage. You have double entry. And I like the design of the racks too. It keeps everything looking spacious and bright in here. The light flows through the shelves just beautifully. And by having both doors glass, see, it turns it into a display piece as well. You've got your double island. I like how on the seating, they designed the island so that the chairs nearly go all the way under. And what that does is it opens up your navigation. Really nice contrast with the natural finish of the cabinets and the countertop. Really nice display for decor. You have plenty of storage underneath. I like how the drawer facings even have that texture. Really, really nice design element. And on the back side of the other island, see how deep that is? So this side can contain seating as well. So that virtually turns it in to another table. So if you're entertaining, or just having family over, gives you another seating option. Extra wide refrigerator and freezer cabinet fronted on your right. Glass fronted cabinets flank the range. Look how tall they are. Very, very nice. Custom hood. And look at that, they incorporated the counter material right there as a band around the hood. Really, really nice way to pull all that together. Six-burner range with a griddle. Like that too. Look at the color. You've got a blend of stainless, kind of a forest green color, and gold. I like that. So just to give you a view, we always talk about people being connected, you know, whether you're entertaining or you're having a family event. So there's your view from behind the sink. Look at that stunning living room. Give you a second to take that in. You know, we talk about magazine shots in my video. That's the magazine shot right there. That is stunning. Have your fireplace flanked with your built-ins, that lighting fixture, warm wood ceiling, sliders that go out to the pool. That is beautiful right there. Continuing through the kitchen. I like their use of drawers as well. And you see more of that. And you think about, you know, storage in drawers is usually more accessible than a lot of cabinets. Every case is different, but I like the number of drawers they have in this design. How spacious all that is. Keeps everybody connected, and everything is used so practically and logically. Plenty of storage ranging, you know, when we first looked at the bar, did you see all those base cabinets in there? Rolls right into the kitchen, plenty of storage. Another magazine shot right there. You know what I'm talking about too. It's the pictures you always see on the covers or the spreads in magazines, whether it be architectural or living magazines, what have you. That's one right there. And I like how the interior has a blend of traditional with a little bit of, not quite modern, but a little bit more contemporary design. So if we go down here to the built-ins, you know, it's quite often that those are done in wood. You might have base cabinets on the lower and then some kind of either shelving or floating shelving, something like that above. But I like how they have, you know, created that and finished that. Very nice. And then it kind of joins with the fireplace. Now, a lot of times the fireplace material is something like Archistone. There are several different materials you can use, but I'm just trying to show you the texture in that. And that is beautiful how they incorporated both of those together. A bit of a contemporary look. You have to keep in mind, our area, for the most part, is somewhat traditional. So when you see an evolution of design and building, it's kind of nice to see some refreshing looks like that. Now, if you're the producer of that, you know, anytime you're going to go in and change a trend of somewhere, you have to make sure you have a market for it. And we definitely do now. There's been enough of that where people are really warming up to it. Another magazine shot right there. That is stunning. So just to give you a point of reference, we're about to go exploring. So we're leaving the living area here. We're moving toward the left side of the home. Still a little bit toward the front side of the home. Just give you a preview of the staircase. Look how beautiful that is. Continues with the wood finish on the wall there. Very nice. Here on my left side, we have the elevator. In case anybody can't or does not prefer to use the steps. Look at that quick contrast. Going immediately from that lighter tone. Look how we went. We continued the wood through there. Look at that. See how it shifted dark? Dark doors. Beautiful hardware on that. We'll check the brand here. That might be M-Tech. And that feels completely different when you touch that. That fireplace. Look how deep the firebox is set in there. Get close up to that. Isn't that cool? How deep that is. I really like how those flanked built-ins, look how dark those are. They kept the wood, that just went with a dark finish on that. It makes that fireplace pop. Continued with a dark finish on the ceiling. Perfect lighting fixture. Super tall doors. And you know, there's a place and time for double door entrances, and that is definitely one of them. It is beautiful how they presented that. Straight across, we have another double door entrance. Let me show you. This is how practically they thought when they designed this. In order to use all of the space, that is actually a built-in kind of a lengthy closet that actually wraps under that staircase right there. So if you've ever walked in a home and you saw some voids or you saw some spaces and somebody made the comment, they really should have built that out. Well, they did. And look how well they built it out. You even have recessed lighting right here in the understairs closet. And you know, when you see features like that, it kind of lets you know how they thought about the rest of the home. It's like an all-encompassing vision for the home. Just to keep your bearings, the foyer's ahead, the staircase on the left. We just went in the closet on the right. And here at the end of the hallway, we have a guest powder room. Beautiful wall finishing. Kept the natural tones with the vanity. Wall mount plumbing, large hanging mirror. Very, very nice. So we rotate to the right side. We start entering the master suite area. Here you have a double door entrance. And look how this is kind of tucked back on its own. On the right side, we've got an exterior door. Leads to several places. There's a place, kind of a walkway behind the primary suite. And then this also opens up to the pool and outdoor living area. But first, we are going to take a look at this stunning primary suite. And look at the ceiling. Is that not something else? Vaulted, look at the size of the beams and that lighting fixture. Stunning. Have your fireplace flanked with large glass windows. Now I know everybody always likes to see the pools, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of preview right here. This is right from the primary suite window. I usually try to give you some sort of reference on size of the room. That is a king bed, spacious nightstands there, and look at the space. In addition to that, you've got double chairs here. Very, very large room. I know you want to see that ceiling again. That is amazing. Plenty of recessed lighting. Love the hanging light. Perfectly proportioned for the space. So you can see where this whole suite is not only a bedroom and bath, but it's got the area here. You have multiple entrances into the space. Very, very well laid out. Primary bath ahead. We have another exterior door. Leads to some exterior porches that are associated with the primary suite. Continued with the same stone that we saw out front and on the side of the home. A lot of consistency. Here you have a wet bar area or a coffee bar area. Really soft, have a muted color on the cabinets. Have your beverage fridge. Nice ceramic coated sink. And a nice delicate backsplash there. I like that kind of small pieces. Have your floating shelves. Very nice. You can use that for decor or any supplies that you need. Look at that entrance, double door entrance. Look at that. What a presentation that makes. Very, very nice material. Bathroom has double vanities that they waterfalled the countertop down to the tub deck. Really elegant hardware on it. Like too, look at that, they ran the backsplash up and then you have a ledge. I like that detail. Large hanging mirrors, flanked with sconces. We talk a lot about mirrors and keeping those proportional to the space, and this is a great example. See, if you're gonna have a ceiling that tall, you're gonna have to keep all your design elements in proportion so it looks proper. Very nice. Plenty of hanging. That built-ins go to the ceiling. Plenty of space for hanging, folded shoes. I like that they have a window in here. Helps keep things bright. Have your drawer stack. Continued with hardwood in here. You know, quite often you'll see them transition to carpet. I like that they've kept the hardwood. Also notice that you have half height and full height hanging in here. Built-ins to the ceiling, and that is the way to go. You're going to see that some of the shelving is adjustable as well. Nice plan. Don't worry, there's more closet. Look at that, is that not stunning? Double vanities. And see, you're gonna see some of that large window I was talking about as well. Look at that, you can even peek through the window and see the other luxury homes that the home is surrounded by. It's just like a centerpiece for the room though. That is beautiful. But not to be left out, you do have your walk-in shower, curbless. Look at that smooth transition right into the shower floor. Glass fronted. Your double heads on the wall. You have your rain head above, plus sprayer on the wall. See, much like those vanities, rather than putting in niches, so they put ledges. Very nice. Continues into a sauna. That is just beautiful light. You know, there are different qualities of light. Look at that beautiful light that comes in. That's a magazine shot right there. Look at that. Tell me you don't open a vacation magazine and you see something just like that. Very beautiful. Like the light tones in here. Right into the shower, the wall shower controls. Second vanity. Again, tall mirrors, keeps everything in proportion. You ready for closet envy, right? Here it is. Plenty of recessed lighting. Have your hanging light. You've got windows. It all balances so well. Have plenty of drawer stacks, plenty of hanging. And did you notice the light? That's right. You even have light in your hanging racks there. Built-in makeup counter. I like the hardware too. The hardware kind of has a little glamour look to it, which is spot on for a closet. Closet keeps going though. Are you ready? Another set of double doors here, pushing into a phase 2 of the closet. Another drawer stack, plenty of built-ins. And just to review, anytime I talk about built-ins, they do that work on site here. Sometimes people are wondering, how to compare one custom build to the next. Plenty of shelving for for folded clothes, plenty of full height hanging in here. Plenty of drawer stacks as well. You've got this, and then additional drawers out here in the first room. Absolutely stunning closet. The entire primary suite. Now, if you remember the bedroom with the vault and the beams, you come into the primary bath. Look at the beautiful light through this room. And then right into the multiple closets. You've got your walk-in shower with sauna. The whole suite is just stunning. And again, it's all introduced by these double doors right here. Look how tall they are. Fantastic presentation. You even have a small buffer here in the hallway. So even with the double doors, small buffer section in the hallway right there. I like how the whole suite is set aside on its own. We're on this side of the home, so I'm going to take you upstairs, but we are going to go through an additional section of the kitchen, a scullery, the laundry, yoga room, everything on the other side of the home. But we're going to pop up these stairs and take a look. So I've just come upstairs, beautiful stairs, light hardwood. You have your custom iron railing, beautiful presentation. Have your elevator right there in front of us. Secondary bedroom, we're moving toward the front side of the home. And this is another example of the windows. Look at the presentation that makes. And so you can see the beautiful homes right across the street. Vaulted ceiling, recessed lighting, hanging light fixture and center beam. All that in a secondary bedroom. Amazing, isn't it? Walk-in closet on the left, dedicated bath right ahead. Oh, I like those tiles, those floor tiles. Kind of more like $50 size. If you watch the videos, you know I really like smaller tiles in the bathrooms. Those penny tiles, I like these $50 too. Very nice. White vanity with veining in that countertop. Chrome fixture combined with the gold hanging mirror. Kind of a glamour look with those vanity lights too. I like that they mounted them from the ceiling too. You know, quite often, by quite often, I probably mean most often, you know, we see the vanity light mounted right above the mirror. Right now, the trend is to kind of put sconces on the sides, but I like how they've chosen to mount those from the ceiling. I like that, nice touch. Deep tub. Like they continued the tile on the front of the tub as well. You don't see that much in a secondary. Nice wide niche for bottles and soaps. Beautiful tile. High gloss, kind of has a little bit of wave to it. I'll give you a shot of that. I like it, kind of gives it some relief, just not from being a flat surface. Very nice. Chrome fixtures. I like too that they can, you know, they incorporated a beam right here in the bathroom. So see, details like that help, you know, carry a theme through a home. I like that. Corresponds perfectly with these shelves as we go into the closet. So here, technically it's not the closet yet. The closet has a pocket door that you can see a little bit there right on the left. So this would be shelving for maybe linens, your towels and such right here. Then we actually step into the closet. Very good use of a pocket door. Now pocket doors slide into the wall, and the best thing about pocket doors, it eliminates the door swing. So when a door swings, you know, you can't put anything in that area because you have to have room for the door. So the pocket door alleviates all that. So spaces like this are ideal for that scenario. Plenty of built-ins. Have full height, half height hanging. Very, very nice. And again, this is a secondary bedroom. We're on the second level of the home, front side of the home. Love those large windows. Very, very nice. Back out to the hallway. Just passing the elevator. Common space here, maybe a homework space, maybe a little bit of a library, or just where you want to sit and scroll through social media. Maybe look at some homes on your favorite real estate channel. And that type of decor works perfectly here either. You know, you could turn it into a library where they have a lot of books, but that really nice light balance of decor works perfectly right there. So just to give you reference, there's the hallway on the upper level. We're pushing into another secondary bedroom. Built-in closet, plenty of hanging. Have your half height hanging, your full height, built-ins for shoes, folded clothes, and you have your dresser stacker. Very nice. Dedicated bath. That tile. See? Those small tiles. I love those. Have a plaid pattern going on. Secondary bathrooms are a perfect place to put some punch or some bling in the design. Kind of a glamour light there, have the globe. Nice neutral tones on the tile of the bathroom or the shower there. Nice walk-in. Look how sizable that is. shower valve on this end so you can start it up and let it warm up before you step in. Really good design. You know, this vanity even has a little bit of a glamour look to it, doesn't it? I like too that the countertop has that second band. You know, it's just not the top on the base, but it has a second band in that material. Love that. Chrome fixture. Very nice. Cushion to the bedroom area. And again, this is a secondary bedroom, front side of the home. Vault ceiling, hanging light, center beam. Recessed lighting. Very nice. So we're at the end of the hallway, second level. Is this not the room that people are going to claim when they come to visit? Look at this. 4 bunk beds, plenty of living space. Whether you're watching TV, it's movie night, gaming, or what have you. This space is incredible. Nice soft tones. A little bit of a kind of an industrial look, a little bit with the drop lights. Love those. If you notice, each bunk has its very own lighting as well. Immediately to the right, have a powder. See, this is another example where you can kind of have some fun with the design. Look at the small tiles, floor to ceiling. Kind of a darker scheme. I like that. Floating vanity. Pocket door, another perfect place for a pocket door. Eliminates that door swing. And then plenty of room for the group to have some fun. Right there, your TV goes right there. You can already hear the kids gaming and carrying on. And then there are their sleeping quarters right there. Quad bunk system. Stairs in the center, have storage drawers in the risers. Very, very nice. Again, each bunk has its own lighting. A phone shelf, a receptacle for charging. Fantastic layout. Just so you keep your bearings, we've just come back to the main level. I'm crossing the foyer, coming into the main living room. I see you looking at that outdoor space and that pool. We'll get there. Everybody wants to see the pools. Coming across the second island, and look at that dining space. Is that not something else? Really good example of the floor to ceiling windows, how it brightens the space, makes the room look bigger. That gorgeous lighting fixture. I challenge you to have seen that one before. Look at the multiple point attachments on the ceiling. That is stunning. And I just can't get enough of large windows. I just love them. That is exquisite. So we're going to push across the kitchen here. Everybody loves seeing the kitchens again too. Coming to a short hallway, on the right side is another connection point to the wine room, storage room there, all conditioned. Just to give you bearings, we are on the front side of the home, leading into a secondary bedroom. Look at that, look how bright that is. Another example of those large windows. See, I mentioned once we get inside, you'll have a full appreciation of those. Just the presentation they make. I like what they've done with the beams here too. It's nice to see them naturally finished, but it's beautiful how they've chosen to paint these. And just look at the way the light comes in the window. You know, it highlights part of the beams and then creates some shadows as well on the side. That is stunning. So we leave that secondary bedroom back into a short closet, dedicated bathroom. Look at the tile on this walk-in shower. Is that not something else? Like the pattern, the size, the color. Like they've chosen to do a ledge in here too. You have your sprayer, wall head, perfect valve placement. Very nice. Kind of contrasted it a little bit. Look at the floor tile. Coordinates perfectly with the grout color. Floating vanity, kind of back to natural tones there. Popped in some contrast with that countertop. Square sink and chrome fixture. Nice slender mirror flanked with sconces. And see, that's proportional to the ceiling height, so they nailed it. Quite often, people will put kind of a short mirror there, and it just looks disproportional. Fantastic design element here. I really like that floor. Kind of going back to that grout color. If you notice, a lot of people don't know that you can use different grout colors. You see, there's a lighter grout color, and then look, it transitions to a darker gray grout on the shower wall. Love that. Walk-in closet, plenty of hanging. Have your built-in up top. Very nice. Just to keep your bearings, we're coming out to short closet here, kind of just a transitional hallway. I'll kind of fill you in where we are here. This left exterior door, if you remember early in the video, I came around the garage side of the home, talked about how warm the side was, and we stepped on it and said, wow, that's really nice, you know, how they designed the exterior that way, just so it wasn't flat. This is that spot. So as you're facing the home, we are on the right side of the home, pushing into a secondary bedroom. And again, this is on the right front corner of the home. That design, that high ceiling, massive beams, perfect lighting fixture hanging there. And I like the second window above too. Not only for the light aspect, but for the design. And you know, when they're designing homes, you know, from the outside, they want to put window placements to break up walls. That obviously has to translate to the interior of the home. So you have to make the windows work inside too, obviously. And this is a perfect example of how they've done that. Side windows are placed perfectly. You know, they flank the bed wall or the bed there. And sometimes people don't consider that. You know, you always want a bed wall in a room that's not interrupting the windows. And this was done perfectly. Second window lets in more light, but it just looks good up there, just as it did from the outside. Very nice. Like that door panel too, has some fluting in there. The vanity kind of has a little bit of a glamour look. I like that gold and the kind of the pinstripe. I like that. Look at the glam look. Thin countertop, kind of elegant. Bit of a Hollywood look. Wall-mounted vanity lights. Walk-in shower. Put a little bit of pop in there too. If you notice, have the natural tone tile about halfway up, then put some pop in there. That contrast. Have your large niche for bottles. Sprayer head. Glass entrance. Valve placement on the opposite wall. Very nice. I like how they transition those natural tones to the floor tile too. Love this bathroom. Giving you a point of reference, secondary bedroom we just came out of, exterior doors on the right, another secondary bedroom on the right. We are backing up. Wine storage room is right there on the right. So we're back to a kind of a small transition hallway, double door entrance, and I still love that hardware. Very nice. We're coming into a scullery. It is right behind the main kitchen. Auxiliary prep area. Have your in-wall ovens there. Have your pantry. Plenty of storage there. Beautiful. Nice recessed lighting. Keeps the pantry bright. You know, sometimes you open pantries and they can be a little bit of a cave. It just gets dark. Not in this one. Let me just pan around so you can see the full scope of this room because it is stunning. Built-in water dispenser there. Plenty of custom drawers. I like that hardware too. It's a dishwasher right there. Has that knurled look. Like that. Your sink, custom cabinets with the paper towel dispenser built into the drawer. Very nice. And again, this is the scullery. It's right behind the main kitchen. So if you were having an event or something like that, caterers could be in here prepping the food, distributing it, and not interrupting the main kitchen. And with some scullery arrangements, it can be so close to the kitchen, your caterers or whoever is assisting you with food are virtually in your event. So that's one thing to consider. If you do a lot of entertaining, how does the workflow go? Okay, so a second entrance or exit, depends how you want to look at it, of the scullery comes out to another hallway. Immediately on our right, how is this for a laundry room? That's stunning. And this is somewhere where larger tile is perfect. Very nice color. New desk area. Plenty of uppers, nice soft, kind of a soft gray color on those cabinets. Plenty of room for washer dryer. You can fit multiple stacks there. Dual hookups. Look how high the storage goes. Beautiful, isn't it? Nice contrast between the cabinet color and the hardware and the countertop color. Large utility sink. Everybody needs that in a laundry. You always need a utility sink. Have your pet wash station. Really nice choice on that. Nice gray subway tile. I like how the tile on the base also, I mean, it kind of looks like, you know, stone that you would see outside. Nice little detail there. Easy sprayer. Okay, just to give you some reference, I like to keep you in the loop of where we are in the home. Garage side of the home, we talked about the wood wrapping around. Just a minute ago in the video, we were over by the secondary bedroom and I showed you that door. So the windows on the right are in the scullery. So we virtually made kind of a U shape and then came out into the laundry. I just like to try to kind of help people out on knowing where we are in the home as we film. Back out into the hallway, gonna show you a second staircase right here. Remember the bunk room upstairs? This was on the edge of the bunk room. So it's a rear staircase that comes out kind of close to the kitchen. But on a home with this size footprint, it's very, very nice and convenient to have a second staircase. In our home, we call this the drop zone. You've got lockers, you have plenty of drawers there for storage. You've got coats, backpacks, maybe a little sports equipment or what have you. I also like that these go floor to ceiling. Plenty of cubbies up there. And they're up there, but you know, sometimes everything's not needed every day. So you can just kind of tuck those out of the way. A drawer stack right here. Very nice use of the space. Easy access because this is the garage door right here. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know I love garages. I think they're underappreciated and they don't get enough attention. But when you go home shopping, you definitely want to consider the garage. You want to see what you've got, ceiling height, how deep is it, are the doors insulated? All of that type of stuff. So you are looking at a pair of insulated doors. You remember when we looked at the exterior, they had lined those with wood. Have a nice flake floor finish. Isn't that beautiful? Nice and bright and large, so even if you have a large SUV, pickup truck, what have you, look at the depth of the garage. So yes, you could still put some storage on the front side if you want. Another thing to consider is the ceiling height. Now, ceiling heights in garages vary a lot, but here's a tip. If you have a high ceiling and maybe you have some toy or collector's cars, it works better for that type of car, a shorter car. You can put in car lifts, and it's virtually a consumer model of what they would use at the mechanic shop that lifts the car. But instead of using them for repair here, what you would use them for is to increase your car capacity. So you put a lift in, you drive the sports car or the short car on, you lift it up, and you get to park a second one underneath. So it increases your garage parking capacity. And that really can work well if you have a garage with a high ceiling like this one does. Now, you're not going to do that with a kind of a larger, higher volume vehicle like an SUV or something like that. But if you've got smaller cars or shorter cars, car lifts can be your friend. And one thing they've done here as well, if you look at the garage, you see they have side mount motors. Now, for years, and still, they're still very common, the motor to lift the garage door is centered on the door. So it is right about here in the view. Well, if you're going to put in a car lift, well, obviously that's going to have to move. In most cases, occasionally if you have a wide enough span, you might be able to leave it, but most cases they're going to have to move. So this one's already set up for that. If you wanted to pop in a car lift, go for it. The ceiling is high. Your motors are already mounted to the side. Beautiful layout. Love that. Yes, I like looking at garages. Over here you have a little nook. Second entrance, you have your tankless water systems. Super convenient for servicing. Absolutely love that. Already have some 220 power already in the wall. Easy hookups if you're putting in a charging station for any of your cars. Fantastic layout. Going to give you another point of reference. We just came in the garage door on the right. We're pushing out to a hallway. Just to the left is the kitchen and living space. A pair of exterior doors to the outdoor living. Give you another sneak preview of that space. Yeah, beautiful outdoor kitchen. Coming down the hallway. Another design element, look at that. Double doors. So we're running into another living space, but if you wanted to isolate that, maybe you have different conversations going on, double doors come in handy right there. You can shut the space off. Look at the light in this place. Like the design of the beams too. Kind of parallel beaming creates a coffered ceiling. That is the perfect light fixture for that. Have a nice soft green on the walls. That goes perfectly with all the natural tones in here. Wet bar area. Floating shelves, nice natural base cabinets. Look at the slider doors, open it up right into the outdoor living. So see, just about everywhere we go here, you just have a stunning view of all of your outdoor living. Just off the end of the living space, straight ahead, you have an exterior door. Full bath right here. Easily accessible from the pool. And if you recall, they carried the stone from outside inside right here. So kind of as an extension of your outdoor living space. Have your floating vanity. Very similar material to the kitchen, square sink. Oh, I like how mechanical that fixture looks. Look at those nice knurled handles there. Love that. And picking design elements that reflects the use of the space or where it's connected to is also a talent. So this is somewhat connected with the activity end of the home. You've got the outdoor living. So they carried the stone in here. There's a high probability people will be using this facility coming from the pool, whether to rinse off, tile off, change, and what have you. So it connects with that space just through the design elements. Look at that, they carried it all the way into the shower. Have your rain head, corner niche for bottles. Great valve placement too, so you can start the shower before you get in there. Very, very nice. So this is kind of an activity end of the home. To the left, you have exterior door, connects you with the pool area, water dispenser right here in the wall. Wrap around to an activity room, currently set up as a workout room or a yoga room. Continued with the hardwood, really nice soft green in the space. Large ceiling fan, recessed light. And this room will stay bright. If you look at this large bank of windows right here, look at that, floods with daylight. Let me spin around to show you the opposing wall. Look at that, double doors right to the outdoor living. Floor to ceiling. So see, this room is just going to naturally stay bright. Incredible view no matter where you look. For a point of reference, I've rewound a little bit through the hallway living space back toward the kitchen area. We're going through a double door here. I know you're ready to see this outdoor living space, and rightfully so. It is absolutely incredible. Fantastic outdoor kitchen. And see, this is perfect proximity because like I said, when I just step outside, the kitchen was just behind me. And when you're designing placement of an outdoor kitchen, you need to keep in mind where the indoor kitchen is because although you might be set up out here, you still end up shuttling some supplies. And this is the perfect layout. Great proximity to the indoor kitchen. One thing you'll see too, a lot of outdoor space covered and not covered, which is like a perfect blend because in Tennessee, we can use outdoor spaces a lot of the seasons. And you can even use them on rainy days. So having it nice and covered like this is just the perfect plan. And if you notice in the ceiling there, infrared heaters. So on those fall evenings, you might be entertaining and it might be getting a little chilly. You fire up those heaters, no problem. Another example of a lot of glass. We were just in this living space. We have floor to ceiling sliders. Straight ahead, you have the workout or the yoga room. I mentioned the double doors that open up to outdoor living. That's straight ahead. We were just inside there. The door on the right here is the exterior door that led to the full bath where they ran the stone in that we talked about. So you can see where all of this is so well implemented. There was so much thought that went into the proper design and proximity of each component. Now, everybody's hobbies are different, but look at this corner room. It's its own separate sanctuary. It could be anything from an artist's room to a gardening room. They also carried the stone floor right inside. It's equipped with a sink. And right outside, raised flower beds. Could be an herb garden. Absolutely beautiful. Now here's one of the shots you've been waiting for. You wanted to see the pool, right? But look at how incredible the entire outdoor living space is. And look how it incorporates the pool, hot tub, you have your vault on your rear porch there. Is that just not stunning? Floor to ceiling windows, so everybody inside is staying connected with the activity right out here at the pool. Beautiful decking, and see it's perfectly consistent with what was used out front and on the side entrance. Simply stunning. Imagine that fire roaring. Nice October evening. Octobers here in Tennessee are just spectacular. Weather is perfect. It's nice and dry. Get that fire going. Have some glowing lights. You'll be dreaming of events to come up with, reasons to have events. Have all that glass glowing in the evenings with the inside lights. That's the living space in front of us, wraps around to the exercise area. Have your artist's room. Maybe we'll call that just the creative zone, right there on the rear corner of the home. It's hard not to look at any pool and just look at that crystal water. Just want to jump in. Leads right up to outdoor living. And so this is going to be right behind the indoor living room. Let me show you this vault. Perfect light fixture choice. And see, they kept with the warm wood, the natural finish up there. It's just stunning. Large slider doors. So, you know, as weather permits, you slide those doors open and it really makes everything one large space. If you remember earlier in the video, we were behind the primary suite and there were a few exterior doors that I said went to walkways and porches off the primary suite. So see, the primary suite is tucked away right back here. See, this is one of those walkways. Let me show you where this comes out, just to help with your point of reference. This was in the primary suite. You remember that hallway interchange right between the suite and the bathroom, and that's where this comes out. So if you can imagine coming out of the primary suite, look at this view. Look at that. Is that not stunning right there? That's another magazine shot right there. Beautiful blue sky too. I love falls in Tennessee. So to show you how this all combines into one incredible space, we're gonna push through the living space, kitchen, double sliders are open. Imagine that evening entertainment event. Just push right out. Creates one space. Have your fire going right here on the rear deck. Lights are glowing. You can picture it, can't you? Have those nice warm lights, the fire's going, hear the conversation around, have a scent of your favorite foods, a little bit of beverage pouring going on. And there's so much space here and it's so creatively allocated that you can have conversation areas everywhere so everybody can stay connected, but at the same time, you've got flexibility in where everybody gathers. Well, I think it's pretty unanimous on this one. It is absolutely stunning. Over 7,600 square feet, you have 5 bedrooms, 5 full baths, 2 half baths, all these stunning finishes, double islands in the kitchen. You've got the incredible outdoor living. It is amazing. Again, this is out at Primm Farm in Brentwood, Tennessee. My name is Sean Larson, real estate broker in Middle Tennessee and the 38 Florida market. If I can answer any questions about this home, the community, or real estate in general, please reach out. I'll take great care of you. I hope you have a fantastic day.